Welcome to Wrestling with Snipes. Today we'll be reviewing AEW Dynamite, the 5th anniversary show, October 2nd, 2024. The show starts off hot for the International Championship as Will Ospreay defends against Ricochet. For such a big match, not too much build up for this one. Ricochet comes out and then we go to the back and we see Ospreay being hyped up by Kyle Fletcher when Don Callis and Take a Shit show up. Callis asks him, do you want to talk about last week? But Ospreay says, I got a match, and walks away. Then we start the match and there's lots of flips, but not a lot of wrestling. Then they both do some flips and they both land on their knees. And the people go bananas. Ricochet then hits a backbreaker followed by a suicide dive to the outside. Ricochet then tosses Ospreay into the barricade, but Ospreay jumps up. Ricochet joins up to meet him and hits him with a hurricanrana. Ospreay then hits a springboard clothesline as they battle onto the apron, and Ospreay hits a super kick followed by an Oz cutter. Then they meet up at the top rope and Ricochet hits a hurricanrana, but Ospreay lands on his feet. Ricochet then takes him down and climbs to the top rope, goes for a 450 and lands on his feet as Ospreay moves. Then Ospreay hits Ricochet with a Styles Clash. 1, 2, kick out. Then Ricochet reverses the Ospreay elbow, climbs to the top rope, shooting star press. 1, 2. Oh my god, he kicked out. Then Ospreay out of nowhere hits a poison rana. They fall on top of each other. The ref counts 1, 2, 3. This match is announced as a draw. Then Justin Roberts announced that this match will continue. Ospreay then hits a flying elbow and out of nowhere Take a Shit jumps in the ring and attacks him. A DQ is called. He then hits Ricochet with a spinning Michinoku driver and picks up the international title, holds it as he stands over Ricochet and Ospreay. Then we go to the back and we see Renee with Mercedes, Monet, and Camille. Pittsburgh, say hello to your CEO. Monet says she has prepared a video of Dynamite's best moments. Let's take a look. The video is just a couple glimpses of Mercedes, Monet. Then we go back to Monet and Camille and she says money changes everything. Then out pops MVP and he says you're right. MVP then gives Monet his business card and says we should talk about business. Then we go to the ring and it's time for some learning tree with Chris Jericho. Jericho says AEW has a new TV deal and that's thanks to Chris Jericho. Now they have a new TV deal, hopefully they can increase their ticket sales and ratings and they can start bragging. Jericho then challenges Mark Briscoe to a Ring of Honor World title match at Wrestle Dream. Then Ospreay comes out with his crew. Jericho says you'll never be as good as your brother. Then Mark clocks him, knocking Jericho and says keep my brother's name out your mouth. Then Mark Briscoe accepts and we've got a Ring of Honor World title match at Wrestle Dream. And next up we have Adam Hangman Page against Juice Robinson. Hangman meets him on the aisle and starts the beatdown, but then Juice has a belt, but Hangman takes the belt away from him and starts whipping Juice. They battle through the crowd and back to the ring and Juice starts choking Hangman with the belt, so apparently it's no DQ. We come back from break and Juice hits a big superplex off the top rope. They battle to the outside and Juice hits a cannonball on Hangman through the barricade that looks very weak. They get back in the ring and Hangman hits a fallaway slam into the turnbuckle. Looks like Hangman is going to hit a deadeye from the top rope, but Juice reverses it into a powerbomb. 1, 2, and then he kicks out. Juice has a body lock on Hangman, who grabs the referee and then hits a low blow as the ref can't see it. Then Hangman hits a buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. Adam Hangman Page is victorious. Then Hangman takes off his own belt and starts choking Juice, tossing him over the ropes, hanging him. And out of nowhere, Jay White returns and he takes down Hangman Page. Page runs away through the crowd, but Jay White goes after him and he spears Hangman through the table in the crowd. Jay White is back. Next up, we have Britt Baker, DMD, against Serena Deeb. We get a shot of the Glamour, the women's champion Mariah May, in the crowd looking on. Serena's really working over that leg, getting Britt into a single leg crab, but Britt gets to the ropes. Then we come back from break and Britt is putting on the glove. Looks like she's going to go for the lockjaw, but Deeb hits a German suplex for a 2 count. They battle to the top and then Britt hits an avalanche from the second rope for a 2 count and then puts Deeb in the lockjaw. And that's a wrap. Deeb taps out. The winner, Britt Baker, DMD. D. Then we see Mariah May looking on as she looks very unimpressed, and Deeb attacks Britt. After the bell, puts her in a single leg crab, but the Queen makes the save. Out next, we have Private Party against the Iron Savages. This seemed to be a filler match as it was about 30 seconds. Private Party hit the gin and juice. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Private Party pick up the win. After the match, Private Party says they are the next AEW Tag Team Champions and they call out the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks come out and say, you guys want tag team title shots right here tonight in Pittsburgh? I don't think so. Then Jack Perry attacks them from behind. The Elite are beating down Private Party and then outruns Shibata. The Elite scurry off after Shibata hits the ring. Chris Daniels comes out and says, we got a 6-man tag match for Rampage Friday night. Then we go to the back and we see MVP with Renee Young. MVP says he has a big announcement, but he's interrupted by Prince Nana. Nana says he used to be a wrestler and he'll lace up the boots tonight in Pittsburgh against MVP. MVP says he doesn't deal with complaints, but he does and he points. The camera peels over and there is Shelton Benjamin standing behind Prince Nana. MVP introduces Shelton Benjamin to everyone and then they walk off as Nana looks upset. Then it was time for the main event of the evening, champion versus champion, Okada versus Danielson. The first 20 minutes is for the Continental title, and if the match goes past 20 minutes, it's for the World Heavyweight Championship. Some convoluted rules not making sense for this World title, Continental title main event. We see a still that says title versus title, but not really. Okada hits the flapjack for a 2 count to start the match. Then Danielson hits Okada with a headbutt. Danielson goes to the top for a diving headbutt but misses. They battle out and Okada ends up on the ring and Danielson hits a suicide dive. Then tosses Okada back into the ring. Danielson hits a top rope drop kick. They battle back and forth and Okada hits a beautiful drop kick as the 20-minute mark hits. And now this match is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then we see Okada hits an elbow and then flips off the people in the arena. Danielson hits a top rope dive to the outside, taking out Okada. Danielson then runs at Okada, but Okada catches him and gives him a tombstone on the outside of the ring. They battle back in the ring and Danielson is setting up for the running knee, but it reversed by Okada. And he hits the Rainmaker, but cannot go for the pinfall because he's so exhausted. Then they battle back to their feet and Danielson hits a Rainmaker, but only for a 2 count. Then Okada goes for another Rainmaker, but Danielson ducks it and rolls up Okada. 1, 2, 3, big retain. Bryan Danielson is still the champion. Then on the outside one corner we see Pac, the other corner we see Claudio. Then Okada attacks Danielson, hits him with a Rainmaker and leaves. Pac and Claudio slide into the ring. They pick up Danielson and here comes Mox. But before Mox can do with anything, out comes Wheeler Yuta with a hammer. Yuta clears the ring, but then Mox jumps in the ring and they go face to face. Danielson then jumps on Mox, but the BBC jump in the ring and take care of Danielson and Yuta. Yuta and Danielson then battle back, clear the ring. Bryan grabs a mic and says next week Claudio and Pac versus Yuta and Danielson, title Tuesday.